The desert sun beats down on rusted aluminum siding, a trailer park in the outskirts of Palmdale, California, where dreams come to die and conspiracy theories come to live. Row after row of metal homes, each one a story of compromise. The asphalt between them cracks like broken promises, weeds growing through the fissures. Inside trailer number 47, a man sits surrounded by walls covered in newspaper clippings, red string connecting photographs, and printouts from websites with names like truthseeker.net and wakeupamerica.com. The red string forms a web so complex, it looks like the work of a mad spider. His name is Will Smith, but the world has forgotten his name. The apartment tells a different story now. No Grammy Awards, no movie posters, just maps of alleged government facilities, blurry UFO photographs, and stacks of research about mind control experiments. The only reminder of his former life is a faded Fresh Prince of Bel-Air DVD box set, gathering dust beneath conspiracy magazines. He reaches for his coffee mug, a chipped ceramic cup that reads "World's Best Dad" in faded blue letters. A gift from his son back when his son was 8 and thought his father could do no wrong, back when his son still talked to him. The coffee is cold. It's always cold by the time he remembers to drink it. Will adjusts his webcam, a cheap device duct taped to a makeshift tripod made from PVC pipes. Behind him, charts and diagrams create a chaotic backdrop. Photographs of alleged UFOs are thumbtacked next to printouts about fluoride poisoning. Government organizational charts overlap with maps showing electromagnetic radiation patterns. Recording in 3, 2, 1. The red light blinks on. What's up, Truth Seekers? Big Willie here with episode 847 of Truth Bombs with Big Willie. His voice carries the practiced enthusiasm of a radio DJ. Today we're diving deep into the latest government psyop designed to... He glances at his notes, scribbled on the back of an overdue electric bill. Designed to make you believe that Hollywood isn't the front for alien disclosure propaganda. The irony would be hilarious if it wasn't so tragic. He checks his live viewer count. 14 people watching. 47 subscribers total. Down from 49 last week. Will was once offered the role that would have made him the biggest movie star on the planet. Instead, he sits in a trailer park, talking to fewer people than attend most family barbecues. It all started with a phone call. 1996, a Tuesday that would change everything, or in this case, change nothing at all. Will was in his West Philadelphia apartment, gold records on the walls, awards scattered across tables, but he was hungry for more. Acting was calling to him, and Hollywood was finally ready to listen. His agent's voice was electric with excitement. Will, they want you for this massive film. Roland Emmerich directing. It's called Independence Day. Alien invasion movie. Huge budget. This could make you the first Will Smith. The script arrived by messenger that afternoon. Will read it once, enjoying the ride. Then he read it again. By the third reading, something felt wrong. Very wrong. The storyline was too convenient. Aliens attack Earth on July 4th. Government has secret alien technology. Military saves the world with the help of a fighter pilot who happens to be black. This is propaganda, he told his agent over the phone that night. Can't you see it? They're preparing us for something. Conditioning the masses, making alien invasion seem heroic instead of terrifying. Will, what are you talking about? It's popcorn entertainment. No, man. This is deeper, way deeper. The government has been planning this for decades. Project Blue Beam. Look it up. They're going to fake an alien invasion to bring about a new world order, and Hollywood is their recruitment tool. His agent was silent for a long moment. Will, are you feeling okay? That was the first person to ask him that question. It wouldn't be the last. Will spent the next 3 days researching the Roswell incident, Area 51, the Majestic 12, MK Ultra. Each rabbit hole led to another deeper hole. By Friday, he was convinced that Independence Day wasn't just a movie, it was a blueprint. I'm not doing it, he told his agent. Will, this is $100 million movie. This is your shot. And that's exactly why I can't do it. Don't you see? The bigger the budget, the bigger the lie. I won't be their puppet. I won't help them normalize what's coming. His agent hung up. By Monday, the role had gone to some unknown actor. Within 2 years, that unknown actor was on every magazine cover in America. Will spent the next 3 days researching, diving deeper into a world of hidden documents. The Roswell incident, Area 51, the Majestic 12, MK Ultra. Each rabbit hole led to another, deeper hole. By Friday, he was convinced that Independence Day wasn't just a movie, it was a blueprint. I'm not doing it, he told his agent. Will, this is $100 million movie. This is your shot. And that's exactly why I can't do it. Don't you see? The bigger the budget, the bigger the lie. I won't be their puppet. I won't help them normalize what's coming. His agent hung up. By Monday, the role had gone to some unknown actor. Within 2 years, that unknown actor was on every magazine cover in America. Will watched from the sidelines as Independence Day became the biggest movie of 1996. He watched the actor who replaced him become a global superstar. He watched as alien invasion movies became the new normal in Hollywood. See, he told anyone who would listen. It's working exactly like I said it would. But fewer and fewer people would listen. The Fresh Prince ended its run in 1996. Without the Independence Day momentum, Will's film career stalled before it began. The offers that came were smaller, quieter, less significant. By 1999, he was doing straight-to-video action movies. By 2001, he was doing guest spots on cable TV shows. By 2005, he was out of the entertainment business entirely. They blacklisted me, he tells his webcam audience of 47. Hollywood doesn't forgive people who refuse to play their games. The truth is simpler and more painful. Will blacklisted himself. Every role became suspect. Every script became potential propaganda. Every opportunity became a test of his principles versus his career. And his principles won every time, until there was no career left to choose over. His marriage to Jada fell apart in 2003. She tried to understand his obsession with government conspiracies, tried to support his research, tried to pretend that their dinner conversations about chemtrails and mind control experiments were normal husband and wife discussions. But when he started pulling Trey out of school, because the education system is designed to create compliant drones for the corporate machine, she drew a line in the sand that he refused to acknowledge. "You're scaring our son," she told him during their last real conversation as a married couple. "You're scaring me." "The only scary thing is how blind everyone chooses to be," he replied, surrounded by printouts and research materials that covered every surface of their once beautiful home. The divorce was finalized 6 months later. Jada got full custody of their son. Will got supervised visitation rights, which he lost 2 years later when he showed up to pick up Trey with a car full of pamphlets about fluoride poisoning and government mind control. Now Trey is 28, successful, married, a father himself. He lives in Atlanta, works in finance, has never publicly acknowledged his relationship to Will Smith, the former rapper, or Will Smith, the former actor, or Will Smith, the current conspiracy theorist living in a trailer park and broadcasting to dozens of people who already agree with everything he says. The last time they spoke was 2019. Trey called on Father's Day, a gesture that felt more like charity than love. "Dad, I'm worried about you." "You should be worried about yourself," Will replied, webcam still recording in the background. "You're living in their system, working for their banks, feeding your children their processed foods. You're exactly what they want you to be." Trey hung up. He hasn't called since, hasn't sent a card, hasn't acknowledged Will's existence in any way that matters. Will tells himself this is because Trey is afraid of the truth he represents. The real truth is that Trey is afraid of his father, afraid of what he's become, afraid of what he might say, afraid of the embarrassment and confusion that follows. Will Smith, like a shadow everywhere he goes. Will tells himself this is because Trey is afraid of the truth. The real truth is that Trey is afraid of his father. The trailer park is quiet now in the afternoon. Heat, most of the residents are at work, real jobs with real paychecks, real schedules, real connections to the mainstream world that Will left behind. Will's income comes from YouTube ad revenue, $14 last month, donations from fellow truth seekers, $23, and disability benefits for what the government classifies as anxiety disorder. But what Will knows is actually targeted harassment by federal agencies who recognize him as a threat to their long-term plans. His neighbors avoid him with the careful politeness reserved for people who might be dangerous or might just be sad. Rodriguez in Trailer 45 used to bring him casseroles when he first moved in, but that stopped after he explained to her that her microwave was being used to monitor her thoughts and relay information back to a central database. The kids who ride bikes through the trailer park whisper about the crazy man in 47 inches, who talks to his computer all day and never comes outside except to check his mailbox for government surveillance letters. They don't know he used to be famous, don't know he once had his own television show, don't know he turned down the biggest movie role of the 1990s. To them, he's just another casualty of the desert, another person who came to California chasing a dream and ended up chasing shadows instead.
Will's phone buzzes.
A text from an unknown number. Mr. Smith, this is James Avery's daughter. My father passed away 3 years ago. We're having a memorial service for the cast of Fresh Prince. Would you like to attend? Uncle Phil is dead. Will stares at the message for a long time. James Avery was one of the last people from his old life who still talked to him. Even after Will's descent into conspiracy theories, James would call occasionally, never lecturing, never judging, just checking in. You know I love you, Will, James had said during their last conversation. But I'm worried you're disappearing into something that's going to swallow you whole. I'm not disappearing, Will had replied. Everyone else is just refusing to see what's really happening. James had sighed. Maybe, but what good is seeing the truth if it costs you everyone you love? Will had hung up angry. Now James is gone, and Will realizes he never got to apologize for that anger. Never got to explain that his pursuit of truth wasn't about being right. It was about feeling important again. He deletes the text without responding. Outside his window, an airplane passes overhead. Contrails streak across the blue sky. To most people, it's just an airplane. To Will, it's evidence of a global atmospheric modification program designed to alter human consciousness. He opens his laptop, a machine held together with electrical tape and hope. The screen is cracked, the keyboard is missing 3 keys, but it still connects to the internet, still allows him to broadcast his truth to the world, or at least to 47 people. Will scrolls through his latest video comments. Most are from fellow conspiracy theorists, people who live in the same isolated world of alternative facts and rejected realities. But occasionally there's a comment that cuts deeper. Dude, you used to be my hero when I was a kid. What happened to you? What happened was simple. He chose to be right instead of being loved. He chose to be informed instead of being connected. He chose to see the truth instead of being happy. The question that haunts him most isn't whether he was right about Independence Day being propaganda. The question is whether being right was worth everything he lost. His phone rings. The caller ID shows unknown. Will has trained himself to answer these calls immediately. They're usually fellow researchers with new information, or whistleblowers, or sources with inside knowledge of government operations. Hello, Dad? Will's heart stops. He recognizes the voice immediately, even though it's been 5 years since he heard it. Trey? Yeah, it's me. There's a long pause. I saw one of your videos. Someone shared it online. Will's stomach drops. His son discovering his YouTube channel was one of his worst nightmares. Trey, I can explain. Dad, Trey's voice breaks slightly. You look sick. You look lost. I'm not lost. I'm the only one who's found the way out of the maze. What maze, Dad? What are you even fighting anymore? The question hangs in the air like smoke from a distant fire. What is he fighting? When did the search for truth become more important than the truth itself? When did being right become more important than being a father? I'm fighting for your future, Will says quietly. For your children's future. My children don't even know they have a grandfather, Trey replies. And if you keep this up, they never will. The line goes quiet. Will can hear his son breathing on the other end. Can hear the weight of years of disappointment and worry and love that refuses to give up entirely. Dad, I'm going to ask you something, and I need you to really think about your answer. When was the last time you were happy? Will opens his mouth to respond, then closes it. When was the last time? Before the conspiracy theories, before the isolation, before he chose to see enemies everywhere, instead of friends anywhere. He can't remember. I have to go, Trey says finally. But Dad, if you ever want to come back to the real world, I'm here. We're all here. The door isn't closed. The call ends. Will sits in the silence of his trailer, surrounded by evidence of 1,000 different conspiracies, armed with knowledge that no one wants to hear. He looks at his webcam, still recording, 47 subscribers waiting for their weekly dose of truth bombs and government revelations. For the first time in decades, Will wonders if the biggest conspiracy of all was the one he played on himself. The lie that being isolated was the same as being enlightened. The deception that being alone was the price of being awake. He reaches toward the webcam's power button, then stops. Outside, another airplane passes overhead. Contrails or chemtrails. Evidence of weather modification or just water vapor. For the first time in 25 years, Will Smith doesn't know the answer. And maybe, just maybe, that's the beginning of finding his way back. The red recording light blinks steadily. 47 people waiting for wisdom from a man who's not sure he has any left to give. Truth seekers, he says finally, his voice softer than usual. Today's episode is going to be a little different. The tide comes in, goes out. Comes in again. It knows nothing of fame or conspiracy theories, only of purpose, only of the eternal return to shore. Will Smith sits in trailer 47, surrounded by the evidence of a life spent chasing shadows, and wonders if the light he's been running from was the truth he was meant to find all along.